Hey, we're here with Chaney from Vertigo Cycles. I've known Sean for a couple of years now, and he has a real exciting bike to show us. He's been busy. He's been a busy man. Sean, take it away.
This is my personal mountain bike, and just sort of I kind of do all my pet projects on my own bikes, just to kind of get ideas out of my head. So
Test it on yourself. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And some things are never to be repeated.
That's right. That's right.
But the one thing that I'm most proud of now is just how widely accepted this size lower cup has been to house tapered steerer forks, in a standard size head tube. So just the simplicity it gives to builders to be able to do that, and just seeing them all over the place here makes me really happy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the other stuff, I just kind of threw at it. It's obviously a 29er, but it has 425 millimeter chainstays,
Wow.
which is, I'm into that. I know short chainstays aren't for everybody, but it's my preference. So, I had to do a little plate, had to do the bent tube and a direct mount front derailleur. I'm also a fan of the aesthetics of internal cable routing.
Uh-huh.
So there's actually a hard mount hydraulic line that's made out of a titanium tube and fittings that goes all the way through the frame, and that carries all the fluid back there, and then all the gear cables are done internally and it comes out back here. And
Right.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I got one of Roadie from Groovy's excellent handlebars on there.
Uh-huh.
It's just a fantastic bar shape.
So how did you get the chainstay so short? 425.
Yeah.
That's the shortest. I hear a lot of numbers coming to this booth, but that's pretty darn short.
Yes, I think it's a little over 16 inches if my math is right, but basically it's a standard width bottom bracket shell.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use a plate on the drive side to get the tire clearance and the chainring clearance I need.
Uh-huh.
I also wanted to use the Cannondale crank, but I put the spider on my mill and I took about 2 millimeters off of the thickness of the spider to get a little bit more chainring clearance.
Wow.
And so, there's tons of tire clearance, tons of chainring clearance, and
Uh-huh.
you either have to offset the seat tube or put a bend in it to weld it to
Right.
the bottom bracket,
Right.
just to get the clearance back there so it doesn't interfere with the derailleur and doesn't interfere with the seat tube. And
Right. And how did you bend the tube? You
I paid somebody to
get
do that.
done? Yes,
Yeah.
That's not an easy task. What's cool too is that bend kind of complements the other bend in the rear triangle.
Yeah.
Most of your bikes have a bend?
They're not. This is something, it was just kind of a solution to a problem that I created. I like to make post mounts for all the rear brakes that I can and sort of squeeze it in between the stays.
Yes.
And the post mount doesn't work great if you put it on the seat stay, at least not for me, because of the way they're offset
Yes.
from the tube. So if I can weld one of them to the seat stay and one of them to the chain stay, it also distributes the load from the brakes between the two stays instead of concentrating on one.
Aha.
And to my eye, it just looks a little bit cleaner.
It's absolutely beautiful. It makes a big difference. Is it stiffer as well?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
That's nothing that I've been able to detect.
But it's just a cleaner
Yeah.
implementation, huh?
Yeah, and that's the only reason I bent these, is to just make room for the brake caliper in there.
And then what's going on in here?
That's the hydraulic. There's a titanium tube that runs the length of the frame that carries
that's
the
what
fluid.
you alluded to earlier.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
So you
I
just-
thought I
there's
was
a-
really clever, and then somebody told me that Soulcraft did it before, and
There was a model bike
Yeah.
a few years ago. It wasn't quite this clean, but this is Soulcraft, and I think it was a project for Formula
oh yeah,
race that they did.
yeah.
But that is so clean.
So I have a lot of respect for that happening first, because it was a lot of work.
Unbelievable. And then, what was your work to get this established or as a standard?
Mostly, actually, it just took talking to Dave
A lot
Turner.
of talking.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I really tried to rally small builders behind it for a long time, and I think small builders we're all kind of a finicky bunch. People aren't really willing to risk much because our resources are kind of limited.
Right.
So I started calling around, and I spoke with Dave Turner, and he was super excited about it. He made a phone call to King Creek, and then within a week I had a prototype.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so now that King has picked it up, I mean, it's fantastic. 'Cause
King Creek has it, and
Yeah.
Chris King as well.
yeah, I think this show is the first time that they've released that one to the public.
Well, Sean, thank you. It's a very clean bike to look at, but there's a lot of thought and detail that went into it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.